There we go. That feels like a snapper. I just heard that reel taking off in the holder and it's come up tight. That bite and run worked a treat. Now last season Dyer introduced this reel into the range, which is the Free Swimmer BR. This is a bite and run style reel, and originally it was released in an 8 and 10,000 size. This year, Dyer have just released two new sizes into the Free Swimmers, a 5,000 and a 3,000, which we're going to give a whirl to today and hopefully land a snapper or two on. Now the first outfit I'm putting out is the new 5,000 Free Swimmer BR. I've got a twin hook setup with a tiny bit of weight just to help my bait get down. Now with this twin hook setup, I'm going to go a bit of squid. When I'm baiting up a squid head, I like to go through once through the very top, and I'll go through again and make sure that hook is outside of the squid. And with the second hook, what I like to do is go in between the eyes and come out around the tentacles, just like that. Now I've marked up some fish just behind the back of the boat, and we've dropped the anchor just above them. So I'm going to try and present the baits to where those fish are. Once that bait's hit the surface of the water, I'll let a little bit of line out, and it's always important to check your drag. Now these reels offer a two-way drag system. So they've got your normal running drag like you would on any of your other spinning style reels. But if I want to, I can flick this lever and it's now in bite and run. So what this allows is the fish to be able to pick up the bait, take off, not feel any pressure, but I can also be alarmed when that fish takes that bait. When I feel like the fish has got the bait deep enough, all I need to do is wind. That reel will click into that secondary drag and hopefully come tight on a snapper. The other outfit I'm putting out next is the new 3,000 size. Now this is a perfect little reel, can suit a range of inshore species, even some freshwater species too. Now this has got a single hook setup, still with a bit of weight and a glow bead on there, but because it's got a single hook, I'm going to go with the pilchard, because pilchards are nice and soft and they're oily. So I'm going to cast this bait out to the right. So these are the two outfits I was sent last season to chase a few snapper on. The 8,000 and I've got the 10,000. I've got two different types of lines on here. I've got some J-thread nylon in 20 pound, and I've got the new J-braid expedition, which I'm going to give a whirl to. I was lucky enough last season to land a few nice reds on these outfits, and hopefully we can get a couple more today. But for this outfit, I'm going to put a nice solid bait like this silver whiting out. Now when I'm rigging a silver whiting, what I like to do is put the first hook, just like the pilchard, in behind the head and make sure that hook is penetrating through. I'm going to roll that bit of slack line in between the snell rig and stick the other hook just inside the stomach cavity, just so it's a bit of a hidden hook presentation. I'm going to put 1/2 hitch there and another 1/2 hitch just before the tip of the tail. I'm going to cast this bait out, just out the back of the boat, let a little bit of line out, check that drag. It's not too tight in my running drag, so I'm going to snip that up. Reason why I want to snip that up nice and tight is so that if a fish does take the bait and I do set the hook, I want a bit of tension there to drive the hook into the fish's mouth. I'm going to flick it into bite and run, check the tension. Now that's a little bit tight for what I'd usually like. I'm just going to back that off to the less dial. That's nice and free now. Grab the last outfit. And for this outfit, I'm going to try a bit of garfish. So with the garfish, I'm just using a head. So what I'm going to do is go through the garfish just like so. Pop that hook out just through the top of the head. And the second hook, I'm just going to bend that gar, pop the hook into the stomach cavity, just like that. The bait's ready to go. Cast that bait out to the left. Let a little bit of line out. Check the drag. My running drag's a little bit loose. Tighten that up. Yep, that's nice and tight. Click it into bite and run. Tension is set perfectly. Now when I'm out here chasing snapper, it isn't always as easy as casting the first 4 rods out and the snapper grabbing every bait that hits the water. Sometimes there's key little features to consider, like fresh bait, burley, or even if there's any fish on the sounder. I always like to back up wherever I choose to fish, but if I'm not feeling it, nothing's really happened, there's no action at all, it's as simple as picking up the anchor, I'll have a bit more of a sound around and try a new area. So keep that in mind the next time you're chasing snapper. Lob that bait out. Flick that over, back in bite and run and check the last rod, which had the garfish on it. Might have something on there actually. I think we've got a fish on here, it doesn't feel very big. Might be a flathead. Oh, there we go. That's something different. This is why it's important to check your baits, because species like this, which are pretty cool, but are taking our snapper baits. So we've sat it out in this spot, not really much has happened. We had a few fish come up on the sounder, but they were pretty scattered when we stopped. So what I'm going to do now is retrieve the baits back in, have a bit more of a sound around and see if we can find a few more snapper. So there we go, that's what we're looking for, snapper. You can tell by the arches and they're very close to the bottom. There's a few fish there. Might anchor up on those and see if we can get one to chew. Oh, this rod here's having a bit of a go. There we go. That feels like a snapper. I just heard that reel taking off in the holder and it's come up tight. That bite and run worked a treat. Fish just come over and grabbed that silver whiting as I was getting a bite on the other rod. Just as I popped that other rod back into the holder, the rod next to it took off. And this is it here. Feels like a decent fish. Does feel like a snapper. Just hope this fish stays away from those other lines. Might actually just pass that other line, that other rod there. At the moment the fish is cooperating, it's just coming straight back to the boat. Took a few nice runs at the start there. Might just back off that drag as the fish is coming in closer to the boat. That's when they're more likely to take a run. And there's not as much line out. The line doesn't have as much stretch, so it's important to just back the drag off, take your time and enjoy the fight. Just take your time, enjoy the fight, and hope that everything stays connected. Came in nice and easy at the start there, or halfway in. Now he doesn't like the look of the boat. Just take my time, get that fish up, no rush. Here he comes. Just grab this net. Come on, fish. Come over here. There we go. Yoo-hoo-hoo! There we go. A lovely Port Phillip Bay red. That's good fun. Got to hear that free swimmer BR take off in the rod holder and it come up tight to this lovely fish. Let's pop the hooks out and see if we can get another one. I love it. How good is that? Melbourne red, ready to go. See you, buddy. Off she goes. Woo! Love that. That was grouse.